The women of Africa, as we know, black girls have the big posterior. They used to call working it, and that turned into twerking it. Not only they weren't happy with that, they found a way to sexualize the women along the way and invented twerking. Yeah, and it's worse than that. There's way more.
Yummy, 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 yummy pizza. Yummy, 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 yummy. The only slice I truly like costs more than $1 or two.
Okay, everybody, we are back. Episode number 2 of 9/11 is Gay, the information show. Has nothing to do with 9/11, but has everything to do with information. We are joined by our co-host, Giselle.
How are you today?
Awful. We're also joined by our producer and attorney, Dirk Dinkman.
It's good to be here.
All right, so we got a big show today. Last time we had a guest, a Hollywood whistleblower talking about Israel and Palestine. He was on the phone, but today we've got a guest in studio. He's an ex-retired CIA agent and military gentleman, worked for the government. He'll be joining us in studio in about 20 or 30 minutes or so. But first, we'll get the ball rolling with some of our usual segments here. Giselle, what was your weekend all about?
Well, mostly about Madonna.
All right, we will get into Madonna.
Everything Madonna.
Everything, yeah.
Everything.
Last time I said, Giselle, tell us the top, you said Whitney Houston. Now we're getting into Madonna.
I'm making myself tell my age.
Yes, so we'll get into Madonna in a bit, but at the start of the hour here, we're going to get the ball rolling with our sponsor, Adreno Krome, locally sourced. By Hillary and Bill. And I think the local source for this actually works similar to honey. You know how honey, they say, works better local because it actually treats your sinus and allergies better when it's local to your region. So the adrenochrome here is actually locally sourced by Hillary and Bill in their townhouse in the Hamptons. Their townhouse in Youth Distillery.
I don't know. Little St. James is pretty far from the Hamptons.
Well, that's
I
where
thought they were in the Bronx.
Who?
The Clintons.
I mean, their fingerprints are all over the map, but their establishment for this is at least out east, Long Island.
Yeah, but where in Little St. James?
Probably
like
the underground bunker.
Which is in like the Caribbean.
Well, no, it's in Florida.
Again, he means locally sourced, like in the U.S.
Yeah, it's all domestic. We're patriots here, so we're not going to source adrenochrome from the UK.
True.
They have poor dental
Is
DNA.
their adrenochrome also red?
Well, yeah, it's inevitable. Yeah, I think it's the red blood cells.
Oh.
Unless they're blue bloods.
What's that?
Like aristocrat kids.
They have blue blood?
Well, yeah, that's like the thing. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Because they're reptiles, like you know.
Oh, cold-blooded.
Well, yeah, but they call them blue bloods though. They're like the nobility. They call them blue bloods, and because they're reptiles.
I thought blue bloods was cops.
No, you're thinking of Blue Line.
No, Blue Bloods is a show.
What was?
I was a background actor in Blue Bloods.
No,
Were you?
Yeah.
Are you making that?
What?
You
Yeah.
never mentioned this.
Wait, what was that show?
I
about
played a
aristocrat?
gang member.
About
No, it's
aristocrats?
about New York City cops.
I didn't know you were.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were a famous actress.
No, it was backgrounds. And I was running across the street from the police. So
Wait, why? What did you do?
I don't even know. They just said dress. They put you in an outfit to dress.
And they said run from the cops?
Yeah, I had to run with other people, like as if we had just committed a crime.
Where was this filmed?
In Brooklyn.
You're lucky the cops didn't actually shoot. Like they see a minority scuttering
It
across
was
the
actually a car chasing scene.
What was scuttering out there?
So what was cool was that we got to stick around and watch a car go in reverse and like skid out on the streets of Brooklyn.
How are you certain this was a TV show and not just like an everyday happening in Brooklyn?
Fair, but
wait, so you're saying Blue Bloods was a cop show, so I think I'm right.
Well, there you go.
Dirk, pull it up.
Already did.
Tom Selleck, baby.
Whoa, wait, did you see him?
Yeah, what a hunk.
No,
Isn't he a hunk?
he's a hunk. But some
Yeah,
of
but-
the other folks might like. Is Donnie? Yeah, that's the one that Donnie Wahlberg is in.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg's retarded brother.
Look.
Oh my god, he's married to that porn star.
Was that good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, the co-host of
Dirk would probably agree. Jenny McCarthy,
Oh, wait, wasn't The Mask married to her?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
That guy-
I know it took
That's
me
all
a
I know
second. I
him
was
for.
like,
Yeah,
who the
what?
fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, but guys, look, I'm right. Look. Blue Blood.
Okay, but
it's
can
a
we
show,
both-
but it's all... Yes,
We're both
all
We're
right.
both right.
We're all right.
Yes, we're all right.
No, we're not alt-right. We're all
We're
right.
not all right.
Well, our fans,
And I took my
we just
shoes
lost
off.
50 subscribers for saying we're not alt-right, so thanks a lot.
Oh, 50.
We lost all 1,000
Nine-
subscribers.
See, look. Blue Blood. Nobility. Boom.
That's too highbrow. Me
Okay.
and Giselle are more of the earth.
Yeah, you guys are consumer brained.
Yeah, we're not...
You're not intellectuals. Sorry. Truth hurts.
Yeah, but you're a cousin lover. That's what nobility is.
What?
All right, well, we need to get the show rolling beyond this because we got our guest waiting to win, who's an ex-CIA agent. And we actually saw him on a couple other podcasts talking about some stuff he worked on in the past in his days in the biz, as they call it. I don't think they do call it that, but he has some really interesting stuff to talk about. But before we got started, we were actually talking about, I was actually a little nervous. Do I smell?
Yeah.
I don't smell anything.
Because I'm using a new body wash, and we were talking about body wash before we actually started recording here.
Well, now I don't
true.
want to talk about it if I'm wrong.
Well, what? Do you always have to be right all the time?
Wow.
Can't you be wrong every
Fine.
every
All right.
once in a while?
Go ahead, Tony.
It's okay. Nobody's judging you. No one. It's all good, yo.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with just being wrong once in a while.
Maybe we should take a meditation.
Giselle,
medication.
you're doing all right. If you smell or don't smell, right or wrong.
Now you're making my hands sweat. First it was just my feet.
Wait, so what's the trigger to make your feet sweat as opposed to your hands sweat?
Yeah, last
don't
episode
know.
your feet were sweating. Now why your hands sweating now?
Lipstick.
What's
because
the
you guys are
distinction?
looking at me.
Ooh.
That's right. I wasn't looking at you last week. That's the key.
He was looking at me and putting lipstick on.
Wait, Dirk was putting lipstick on?
Yeah.
Wait, is that Dr. Bronner's?
No, because there's not.
Oh, it is.
Wait,
I
what?
told you.
Yo, are you psychic or something?
Yes.
'Cause you just said that.
I know I just said that, and
That's
I'm mad that
weird.
we weren't recording.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say there's not enough room for like 20 Bible verses. Doesn't Dr. Bronner's have like 30 Bible verses on every product?
There's only 15 on this. That's all I could fit.
Isn't that their shtick though?
Is that
Yeah,
the peppermint?
Yeah, peppermint.
Okay,
You just
so
like, are
in
you just like
case
a
any of the
soothsayer?
Yeah, what's
subscribers
going on?
wanted to know that Dirk was a peppermint Dr. Bronner's guy.
Lipstick?
But when you're in the
Don't tell them that. You're
shower,
giving away too much information now.
what is he in the shower?
A fiend?
Oh.
Easy.
That's what you said. I don't know.
Christ. No, method.
No,
I'm a
in the
method man.
shower, he's a method man.
I'm just saying what you said before we started recording.
What kind of soap do you use in the shower?
Well, here's the problem.
You don't own a shower. It's baths
Don't
all day
own a
long.
shower.
No, I just started using a new body wash, so I'm self-conscious if I stink.
I didn't get that close.
No, well, the problem is I used this really nice smelling lavender body wash and it didn't work at all. And I smelled in like a couple hours.
Okay.
But now I just started using a new Method Men body wash, similar to what Dirk said.
Okay, can you? I don't have the ability to control the music, but if you could retell the story of the body wash.
What do you want,
while the
emotional?
yeah, emotional music.
See, the thing is, I'm a simple man. I never used to stink, but then I did. Until I started using Method Men body wash.
No, you were supposed to talk about the lavender and shit.
No,
And
the
then
lavender
play
one
music.
didn't. The lavender body wash didn't work. But then I switched, and I was stinking up when I was using the lavender. Lavender I love personally, but it didn't work as a body wash.
Well, what kind of deodorant do
I
you
have too
use?
much testosterone, which our fans were not aware of. They always thought I had too little.
They dig that about
No, because our audience is like 99% men, and they hate gays. So looking at me and smelling me all day just reminds them of their own repressed homosexuality.
Oh, we just lost the rest of the subs.
No, but when I was shopping for new body wash, because the lavender didn't work, I was reading the bottles, and you know how like shampoos or any sort of product says not tested on animals?
Yeah.
What I don't get about that is, all right, so let's say you're a company and you're making a shampoo or a body wash and you're testing on animals. Aren't you only doing that like once? Like you made your product, you made sandalwood body wash, and now, okay, you tested it on a rabbit, it works, everything's good. Now that sandalwood body wash you're using for the next like 20 years. Why do you have to keep testing? Shouldn't their bottle say, we tested on animals once, we learned our lesson, we're never gonna do it again. Trust, you could use this sandalwood now knowing that we're never gonna torture another rabbit again.
Yeah, but is it torture cleaning or is it even like bad? I feel like it's just a
Yes.
marketing thing. Wait, so it's bad to use shampoo on an animal? Like why? You're cleaning it.
No, because
giving
Well,
it a
like
bad.
makeup companies, right? I feel like I have a lot of friends who don't choose certain makeup because they test the makeup on the animal.
which is good, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah, but so what?
well, Dirk is saying, is it torture? I guess it's torture if the shampoo fails the first 10 times they test it.
Oh, you want to know about shampoo on a bunny?
Yeah, body wash, shampoo on a bunny, like it's burning their skin and they're
What?
like, and they're being tortured. That's where it would
Bullshit.
come into
That
play.
could be a whole segment.
They're not using fucking hydrochloric.
What, you want to test on animals on
I
screen?
want you to get a white little bunny and give it like
Wait, why
an
does it have to be
almond
white?
bath.
Why does it have to be white? Why does it have to be white though?
Ooh.
Because it will add to his mysticism.
Wait, okay.
Thank you so much. No, but
He is wearing
No.
the magician's jacket.
No, she's saying
What?
you're not mystic enough. and
I'm
you-
saying he's got the magician's jacket on now. He'll pull out the white rabbit.
It's racist.
all right. Enough emotion. Let's get to something positive, which is our new segment that we started last week on our first episode. Our community showcase.
Wait, so do you actually wear deodorant?
Why?
Well, you said I didn't realize there was an actual smell issue.
No. Well, there's two tiers to.
Well, I don't want to keep it. I don't know if all the audiences
Well, there's
needs
two.
to hear all the things that are potentially smelling.
Yeah, well, there's multiple tiers then. No, but there's two. I do deodorant and then body wash in the shower. I don't deodorize my pits in the shower.
You know,
No one does that.
I use deodorant in the shower.
What? Wait, do you really?
Yeah.
What?
This must be a Jewish thing. Dirk Dinkman, our attorney, everybody.
No, but wait, and then I'll move on.
Okay, go on.
What kind of deodorant do you use?
I use
Natural shit?
every man Jack.
What are you telling me or asking me?
No, because you mentioned this
What, did
brand
he buy
earlier.
it for you? Why are you looking at him?
Yeah, why are you looking at me?
Because he mentioned
Is
that.
he the one who puts it on the nightstand for you?
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, why would it be on the nightstand? We're deodorizing
Hello?
before
I don't keep
acquainting
I
ourselves.
don't, I don't keep my deodorant. I keep my deodorant in the shower, not the nightstand.
Wait,
Why is it in the shower?
Wait,
No.
you guys don't do that?
No.
deodorant in the shower?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. No one does that.
No, because
No.
deodorant is to clean yourself, and then I
Oh
keep
my
my
god!
body.
Now we just lost another 50
No.
subs.
No, we just gained subs now.
Everybody
think-
who deodorizes in the shower is now
You
subscribing.
think our subs know hygiene?
Probably not. So we like to welcome with open arms the incel community, who we're very fond of.
Okay, so you don't use like a natural all ingredients.
No, Everyman Jack I think is pretty natural. It says we're pretty natural on the front.
Okay,
of
well
it.
that could be why you're smelling.
Wait,
Why
it says
can't you
pretty
just
natural?
Yeah, it says we're pretty natural.
why can't you just buy like Men's Degree like I do?
No, because Degree is too commercialized. That's a bad brand. They probably test on animals, test on homeless people. Giselle's from
well,
the inner city, and
wanna
she's well
smell
acquainted
or
with
not
the
smell?
inner city folks that she tests her deodorant on.
Yeah, she
before she buys it. She
personally
goes
does the
into
testing.
CVS. She says, "Excuse me, sir, I'll give you $1 or 75 cents if you let me rub this deodorant on you. If you don't break out in a rash, then I'll go inside and purchase it." And this is what she does, which is
Makes sense.
I think. pretty
Okay,
good.
so we're all on a different page about deodorant.
Pardon me.
We're all on a different page about deodorant.
No.
He's deodorizing.
Yeah, you're on. Yes, he
He's-
uses it in the shower. I use it after the shower. You use it on homeless people.
Well,
How is our CIA guest going to feel in the green room knowing that we're spending 15 minutes talking about body wash right now?
I was trying to get this thing going.
All right.
All right, so one of the segments we do here is our community showcase segment, where we highlight a local gentleman, local to the United States, and it's someone who's done an exemplary job in the community, and we want to highlight them on LinkedIn and show what a good job they've done. So let's pull that up on screen. Are we all good here? Our second winner of our community showcase is Henry Kissinger, ladies and gentlemen. So here he is on screen. He's works at the Abantu Holdings SLU, Principality of Andorra. All right, so scroll down on Henry Kissinger here. His about page, persistence, resilience, and never giving up are a few of the ways of describing me. Space, period.
Oof.
All right, moving on. Having been in business over 19 years, it's only fitting for me to know space, colon. See, he always leaves that space, which I feel like is nice. He's open to whoever he's conversing with to have room to speak.
No, he doesn't know grammar and punctuation.
He's retarded, everybody.
Hey,
wait, wait.
you heard it here first. Henry Kissinger is a retard.
Oh, let me go back down. So business is like any other game of life. Whoa, he's philosophical now.
Yeah, okay.
You give and you take. But give comes first before take.
Love it.
Hold on a second. Business is like any other game of life, okay? You give and you take, but give comes before take.
What, like you give bombs to Middle Eastern civilians and then you take all their natural resources?
Right. So, as we know, the U.S. is aiding Israel in their war against Hamas, which we love that. But so us as the U.S. taxpayer, we're giving bombs to Israel before they take the bombs from us, so, which is good.
No, they take the territory. We give them bombs and then they take
which is
Gazan territory, which is good.
right, because that's the holiday spirit. It is the holidays coming up here, and so we're giving to Israel and they're taking land, which is
Good.
is
Funny.
wonderful. All right, so let's see. What did he say here in activity? Innocent Chapanda. Those are.
Excuse me.
Hold on a second. So in Henry Kissinger's bio here, he said his
Show
activity.
all comments.
He has 962 folks following this. He says, "Innocent Chapanda. Those are wild dogs, not not hyenas."
All right, I gotta see what the fuck he's talking about.
Dirk, please pull
Show
up
all
what-
comments.
Pull up Chapanda.
No, pull up what Chapanda is first. So Deliso Chapanda, who I think Henry Kissinger is making this distinction between hyenas and Deliso Chapanda.
Well, not those wild dogs are not hyenas. So he's making a distinction between wild dogs and hyenas. There is a difference. There's some similarity.
Wait, what is he saying? He's saying that Chapanda is innocent, being a wild dog, but not a hyena.
No. The
No.
people coming after him are wild dogs. Is that what you're gonna say, Giselle? Right? He's like innocent Chapanda. Those are wild dogs.
Can
So
you
he's
show
talking
all
to
comments?
Chapanda?
He's just he's just commenting. He's saying like,
all comments.
no, he's just saying.
Well, we need to figure out what Chapanda. Wait, all right. Wait, click show all comments. Let's see if there's any
It
clarity
might give
here.
some
there might
indication to what he's wanting to
There
talk
might be some
about.
clarity. So wait, what? Wait, first of all, let's say who is Daliso Chapanda?
This is important.
Born. He's a stand-up comedian living in England.
I think you were looking this up wrong.
He became so he's a stand-up. So Daliso Chapanda is a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
All right, now go back to Henry Kissinger's LinkedIn page.
Yes.
So he's talking to innocent Daliso Chapanda and saying,
he could be talking about him. He's like, oh, innocent Chapanda. Like maybe Chapanda got accused of something. There's some allegations against him, and he's saying, no, he's innocent. Those wild dogs coming after you. I don't know about the hyena part, but
Oh my God, make him click all show all comments.
all right, let's see if there's any clarity here.
okay.
I told you.
Wait, you told us what? Those are literal hyenas.
Those are not wild dogs. Those.
Look,
oh no.
Wait, they're about
it's
to
an
masquerade.
actual-
Wait, those are real deers?
I
thought
know,
they were like
that's what I'm saying.
I thought they were lawn ornaments because they're so still. Get out of there. They're going to kill you. Wait. I hate animals killing animal videos, so this might really upset me if this
Fuck off.
Yeah, turn it off. Turn it off.
No, he's going to pounce.
Turn it off. Dirk.
Wait.
Those are wild dogs, not hyenas. What? That's what he's talking about.
true.
Some
Those are
people
wild.
are probably like, yo, them hyenas, they about to kill them deer.
Wait.
they're so
Wait, scroll up a
cute.
second. Look, he said your skills. Wait, no, Ariel B said your skills may help you survive
Can
in
you
difficult
turn
situations.
This off?
Wait.
No, they survive.
Oh, they
Because
do?
yeah, look, he said that they help you skills help you survive.
Oh, because they're like leaning on a rock, and the hyenas are too scared, or the wild dogs are too scared to attack them.
Yo, those look like hyenas.
Hey, this is actually a nice message.
I don't think those are wild dogs.
No, they are. Henry Kissinger said so.
You're right.
He's saying if you show resilience on the edge of a cliff,
My fellow South African.
Yo, this guy's a fucking African supremacist. Look at this.
so am I.
Oh my God.
My fellow South African. It's one of the few things I love about the highest percentage of South African genes.
Wait, South African's all white though,
Oh shit.
but he's not.
Well, he probably is.
Well, what's the rest of what he said here? Remaining positive in the midst of all things, singing a song and dancing. So
My
coming.
man.
So coming back to your point, absolutely. My father used to say, if you are not grateful, you will never be great.
I like that.
I think that summarizes what you're talking about. All the best, man, and yes, the best is yet to come.
I like this guy.
Wishing the same to you, my friend. Many blessings. So Henry
should've
Kissinger really
read
has a
that.
soft spot for humanity, which I think is a very beautiful sentiment.
Well, we all knew that.
Of course.
You should have read that over the music. But what I think
doing
we
a quick
should get out of
time
the
check.
way, yes.
Go on.
For those of you that cannot see,
Oh boy.
Tony's wearing a beautiful shirt today. But if you could just clarify for everybody if that is holly on your shirt or is it cherries?
These are mistletoes. As everyone knows, I like to be in solidarity with our audience, so I'm also an incel. So the sign of the mistletoe here is a sign of hope. It's kind of like the North Star for incels, where we see this mistletoe in the distance, this North Star where we're always trying to seek. We're always trudging through the darkness here,
Incels rise up.
trying to reach that spot of hope. So that's why I'm wearing it.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yes, I'm just like you guys.
How's that new back scratcher you got doing?
What, Giselle? Everyone on
Tony.
camera, I think, missed that unless we include that as a bonus content for our Patreon page, which
Whoa.
is a paywall for you folks to get behind. If you want to see behind the scenes content, we might start unleashing that. We got some eye candy now. It's not just me. And,
Can I say what I don't like?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't like that Dirk's wearing sunglasses.
What about this fucker wearing sunglasses?
I
These
can
are,
still see where his eyes are.
yeah, they're a gradient, so they show where my eyes are. But these are also eyeglasses.
Right.
All right, so I let our guests know a few minutes we'll be going, but let's get into some random topics of the day because folks know from our first episode, we like to do a segment called Random Topics of the Day. And this first segment is called Gilgo Beach. Okay. So Gilgo Beach Killer, for folks across the country, I'm actually not sure how well known the Gilgo Beach killings are known to folks outside of New York.
It's national news.
Yeah.
now.
it's
Is it
like
national now?
Yes,
It
it's
is
a big
now.
deal.
Once they, I guess, caught him or whatever.
There's like
It's national
Netflix
news.
documentaries and stuff now, right?
Is there a Netflix?
I believe there is a preliminary Netflix doc covering what's known so far, but the trial hasn't
it's
happened.
big news now.
So the Gilgo Beach Killer, what we know so far, for those who don't know, he was a gentleman from Long Island, and he murdered what we believe to be women of the night. That he was paying for. Yeah, he was paying them for sexual favors, and then he killed them.
Yeah.
Which they didn't sign up for. They signed up for sex, not death.
Right.
And everyone noticed my notes haven't dropped once today. They dropped about 4 times last episode. Thank you.
Probably that body man you're wearing.
All right. Enough.
Yeah, let's talk 30 more minutes about how it's working. So the Gilgo Beach Killer, he killed prostitutes.
I sniffed him.
Oh God.
Oh, how'd it
How'd it go?
I smell the Adreno.
Chrome.
Krome.
You smell iron. Well, iron's kind of manly.
Yeah, iron's pretty
Like pumping iron.
Yeah.
And iron, as we know, fills blood.
All right, read the notes.
So the Gilgo Beach Killer killed prostitutes.
Grim
We
Reaper.
found out who he probably is. His name's Rex Hewerman from Long Island. So my problem with this case, though, is so they caught Rex. It seems like he was probably the killer. But he stopped killing for a while when they caught him. So my problem here is, sure, he was killing, which is wrong. And then he was like kind of calling police on the phone and kind of taunting them, similar to many killers do because they like the attention. But he stopped doing that. He stopped killing. He stopped taunting. And then the police caught him off guard, which I feel is I feel like at that point, the Gilgo Beach Killer won. Because he was killing, he was taunting, the police couldn't figure out who he was. Then he stopped, and then the police are like, all right, he let his guard down. Now let's break into his house and get him. It's kind of like, all right.
You're saying he was reformed, like he's a changed man.
No, I'm not
No.
even saying that. That's giving him the
Okay.
benefit of the doubt. He might have been changed and reformed, but the point I'm trying to make here is like, all right, imagine a boxing match,
Okay.
Giselle.
Hold on. Okay.
and Dirk.
Yes.
Imagine a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Okay.
Let's say Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson
No.
in a sanctioned boxing match
No.
where there's trash talk, there's taunting, there's fighting. Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson.
Not gonna happen.
And then a week later, Mike Tyson goes to Jake Paul's house and knocks out Jake Paul. That's not sanctioned. That's not good. Jake Paul gave up on the fight. He won fair and square. The fight's over. Would you say that's okay for a sanctioned, agreed upon boxing match and then the guy loses and then beats the guy up afterwards a week later in his own home?
Yes or no?
That's not fair.
Not
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Yes. Oh,
So with me,
wow.
all right, so tying this back into the Gilgo Beach Killer, the Gilgo Beach Killer stopped having sex with women. He's married. He
So
stopped
he stopped having sex.
He
married.
stopped killing the women he's been hookering. And then the cops arrest him in his home. He gave up. He's done. He's not taunting the police. He's not sexing up the hooking anymore. And he let his guard down. Then the cops are like, all right, let's arrest this guy. That's not fair. He gave up. He won. See, my whole point here is the Gilgo Beach Killer won. He was actively killing, actively taunting, actively sexing the hookers. Did it all. All was said and done. He closed that chapter. He won. The cops couldn't get him while he was an active fighter. And then when he was retired, the cops came and arrested him. That's not fair. I think he won. Giselle, did he win? Is there a statute of limitations?
I mean, you don't think that maybe his mental illness just toned down for a little while?
Even so, he let his guard down. He's reforming. He toned down his disease. Like you said, he's innocent because he had a disease, which I agree with. So you're saying Rex was kind of crazy. The things he did were a little unorthodox in the dating realm. We've all tried it. We've all tried it once or twice, and it wasn't for us. Well, the point here is did the Gilgo beach killer win? Because when he was active, he wasn't caught. He won, in my eyes. So should he really be caught now?
No. I agree with you.
All right. So our attorney agrees, and he's of the law. Giselle, do you think do you think the Gilgo beach killer won? Should he be tried for his crimes?
Yes.
Why? All right, we can move on from Gilgo. I think
He let him have it all right.
we're at a standstill here, and I think we're really going over time here. Let's touch on a few quick things. You want to talk about Madonna? Let's talk about Madonna.
So yes, it was the weekend of Madonna in New York City. She played Barclays and she played MSG. It was the Madonna experience. And what I think is interesting about it is that she came out like balls to the walls, like because she had a health scare.
She has balls now?
Wait, when did she have a health scare?
She had a health scare. So now it's almost like she came back with a vengeance because I don't think she wants to die, like at all.
So speaking of that comeback vengeance, you texted Dirk and I when you were at the show saying it's been 2 hours and Madonna still hasn't come out on stage.
That is true. It's fine. I would have waited all night for her to come out. I'm not mad at her.
Simp.
That's fine. You're Madonna's simping. But my point that I brought up in the text, I said, don't give her grief. I think she's backstage sucking adrenochrome from a baby's skull.
Probably.
Because, all right, everyone who knows Madonna knows her as this like bombshell babe from Dick Tracy movie. And looking at all right, yeah, Dirk, pull up an existing current photo of Madonna.
Oh.
All right, yeah, no, actually, no, for context. Pull up Madonna in Dick Tracy so we could get a side-by-side here.
She's down there on the bottom right.
Madiba? What?
We got Dick Tracy Joe Bidening her right now from behind.
It's like, yeah, let me get a sniff of that hair.
All right, so look, this is Madonna in like what, the 90s this movie came out?
Yeah.
This looks like 90s
All right, so she
Madonna.
was kind of an attractive broad.
Kind of.
So pull up, so Dirk, type in Madonna today, Madonna present day, Madonna 2023, I don't know what. No.
Yeah.
All right, this middle left one.
Oof.
Boom, zoom in on that, please.
Do I have to?
Yeah. Oof, look at this. Atrocious. Abysmal.
Did she look like that, Giselle?
Kind of.
All right, so my theory of Madonna is she actually is drinking adrenochrome, which is baby blood from the pineal gland. And I think that's why she was 2 hours late, because she had to find a suitable donor and youth up before she visited you and your friends in the audience. I mean, look at her there. She looks like a Baphomet, like satanic creation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's so great at what she does, regardless of
Her
what she
performance was
looks like.
good?
Oh, it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Her voice is
she's
good?
65.
How was her
And
lip
she
syncing?
moves amazing.
Was
She
her
was
lip-
singing.
Was her lip syncing good?
She was singing.
Was her body double good? She's just chilling backstage the whole
Like double
night.
mint gum.
Sure.
All right, you said she's 65. Does this look like a 65-year-old? I mean, she looks kind of like fucked up, but
It's called plastic surgery.
right. Well, I think it's more than that. I think she's sucking the youth.
Stem cells.
Well, stem cells come from aborted fetuses, which we love. The woman's right to choose to abort that thing so we could suck them up in a vacuum for Madonna's face.
Cream. Juice.
Deodorant.
It's $3.48 by the way.
And yeah. All right. So is there anything else you want to mention? I don't want to
No.
overstep your segment here. So me and Giselle are lifelong friends. And now's the time for the segment called Juicy Couture. So me and Giselle known each other a long while, and we have this infamous debate about Juicy Couture, the fashion company. So my gripe with Juicy, and me and Giselle often went back and forth on this, my problem was they make products not just for adults, but they make products for kids, teens, preteens, tweens. So Juicy Couture makes pants for adults, for kids, and what they do on those pants for kids,
Oh my God.
they plaster the word juicy, not even Juicy Couture, just the word juicy on like an 11-year-old's ass. It'll say juicy. So to me, I'm an uncle. I'm a proud uncle. I love my nieces and nephews. Boy, do I love those kids. So I imagine my niece, 11 years old, innocent, pure, with the word juicy plastered across her ass. And I don't like that. To me, that's a sexual innuendo akin to Madonna. And I think an 11-year-old with the word juicy on her ass is a little controversial to adult pedophiles, maybe making her age a little too quickly, sexualize her. And me and Giselle had a debate about this because Giselle disagrees. I think you could speak for yourself.
It's a little strange.
Giselle, what do you think about this? You might be right. I might be wrong.
Well, I'm not saying that you're wrong and I'm right. It's just
What's your take on it?
this is the world we live in. You chose to live here. You can go to Europe. Where was that place we were going to go to?
Where Henry Kissinger was from
Yes.
Andorra.
Andorra.
You can go there.
Well, are you saying Juicy doesn't sell products in Europe?
They probably
Well, they probably don't wear it every day like they do here.
But you're okay with them wearing it here.
It's part of our society.
That's a bad argument.
Wait, well, our society's saying 11-year-olds should have Juicy on their ass?
Well, people buy it.
But
So
is
they
that
like it.
right?
Yeah, people are stupid.
It's capitalistic. It's using sex to sell. Sex sells.
Yeah, I know.
But to me, that's problematic because we're saying, all right, these 11-year-olds could have juicy, like they don't have juicy asses. Even if they do, that's not anyone's business except the principals.
The 11-year-old isn't going out and buying it.
Who, their parents?
They're folks.
Their folks and parents could be perverts and not aware. They're not good. There's a lot of bad parents out there, is there not?
Yes.
So why should we let bad parents say, look at my juicy child's ass?
I actually agree with you on this.
Me?
I think it should be illegal.
Well,
It is. It's not okay. It's really not.
well, the thing is,
I sorry, Giselle,
I
but
don't
do
know that I
disagree
know.
with you.
Whoa, I don't know that I know 11-year-olds. When we've had this debate, I don't know if we were talking about 11-year-olds.
what olds
So
were we
turn-
talking?
Pull it up.
Wait, pull what up?
Yeah, but,
The website.
What website?
The Juicy Couture. Do they sell the juicy pants like that?
Yes,
For the
it's on
kids?
kids' asses. I've seen it all over the place.
I'm not looking any of this up.
Oh my
No,
God.
not
Okay, the
doing it.
viewers are gonna have to do it on their free time.
Yeah, we're gonna be
No,
put
don't
on
do it
a
on your free time.
we're gonna be put on a watch list. Well, the thing is,
put on a
well, we're already on a watch list. That's what creepy men are doing when they see 11-year-olds with juicy on their ass.
Yeah, it's bad.
But the thing is, me and Giselle had this argument for years. This is nothing
Well,
new.
then it goes back to your kind, right?
What's
because
my
it's
kind?
not the women, it's the men.
What?
That are being pervs.
Yes.
So you agree that the word juicy will get our pervy juices flowing, though?
Stop.
Well, maybe you should address your kind.
Our pervy juice?
Yeah. A male is more likely to kill and be a pedophile and rape.
Yes.
So that's
Statistically, that's true. But should
your
we be
problem.
all right, that's fine. I agree. Men are more predispositioned to do
Sexually aggressive.
that. But should we allow those predispositioned pervs to have this avenue of exaltation. Consumerism, exaltation, where they see juicy and like, yeah, that is juicy, ain't it? If that ain't there, they're not thinking of it.
I don't know. I've never tried to get into the actual psyche of these people.
Like what if on their pants ass is juicy instead didn't say juicy, they said like curdled milk. Like something that wouldn't get their rocks all like juicy, they're like, yeah, juicy. If they said curdled milk or thoughtful, like you said, thoughtful, they'd be like, you know what? Me having sexual fantasies of this little kid, that's not thoughtful.
Oh my God.
So I agree. All right. If the word thoughtful was on their ass, that would be good. Curdled milk. Steve Buscemi's face.
Oh, I love Steve Buscemi.
Well, he's not a hunk. If his face is on a girl's ass.
Puts the lipstick on.
And Billy Madison, yeah. But to tell our audience how heated this once was between me and Giselle, she deleted me off Facebook because I made a comment saying this word shouldn't be on girls' asses, and she deleted me off Facebook. True or not true?
True, but I've deleted you off Facebook like 700 times.
That's true.
So,
also,
are we gonna go through every single time I had to delete you through Facebook?
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break here, and we're gonna bring on our ex-CIA agent, Bill Brennan, in just a moment here. So stick with us, and we'll be back in just a second.
More than a buck or two.
No, it's fucking salt.
I love salt. All right, folks, we are back from our quick break here. We have a couple segments to do, then we're bringing on our guest, the ex-CIA agent, to talk about his secrets from his CIA world. So before we get to that, we, of course, like every other podcast, have bills to pay. So we got to get to our first ad read of the day. And our first sponsor today is Guantanamo Bay. Escape to paradise at the Guantanamo Bay Spa Resort, where we offer a unique and unforgettable experience like no other. Our trained and certified staff will pamper you with top-notch services. But what sets us apart from other spas is our one-of-a-kind torture package. So it's kind of funny, Guantanamo Bay sponsors sent us this ad read, and they left in some notes that I think were meant for a video ad. So I'm going to read those too. So it said, our one-of-a-kind torture package, and then it says cut to shot of a customer experiencing a waterboarding session. That's right, our torture package allows you to experience the infamous interrogation technique used at Guantanamo Bay. Then it says cut to a shot of a customer laughing while being dunked in a tub of water. But don't worry, our highly trained staff will make sure you are safe and comfortable while experiencing this unique and thrilling treatment. Guests will be led to our chic torture chamber, where they can choose from a variety of torture techniques tailored to your preferences. Our sensory deprivation treatment will leave you feeling completely relaxed as all of your senses are taken away, along with all of your secrets. There is nothing as liberating as spilling the beans on something you've been hiding from a friend or a loved one. A back or chest massage feels great, but getting a secret off your chest feels even better. And our renowned enhanced interrogation technique will do just that. Cut to a shot of a customer screaming for their life. Book your stay now and let us give you the ultimate getaway, where relaxation meets adventure. At Guantanamo Bay, torture has never felt so good. Guantanamo Bay Spa Resort, where you'll never want to leave, and some of you never will. Very beautiful. Look at that. Expectation and reality, which I think go hand in hand. All right. So,
all right, that's check number one.
that was our first ad read. We had to pay the bills. We can't afford this on our own. So from our first episode, I was reading our fan mail, and a lot of our fans loved the segment where we went through Giselle's Twitter X account. Now is the segment called X Cross-Examination of Giselle's X account. Now, for those of you that saw our first episode, you'll probably remember at the beginning of the show, I said Giselle is a dear friend of ours, of course, but one of the reasons why we wanted her to be our co-host, aside from her being so great and wonderful and eye candy for you hornballs on the other side of the screen, is because she is a minority, and we've also been accused of being racist bigots from our cartoon There Goes the Neighborhood. So I thought it'd be great to have Giselle. She's perfect. We have a good rapport. But what we noticed from last week is Giselle had kind of a racy week on her ex Twitter page. And so I have a bone to pick with Giselle here. So Dirk, if you would pull up Giselle's Twitter account here, you can see on screen. We're now on Giselle's X Twitter, whatever the hell it's called now, page. So the first tweet she sent here, Dirk, if you would scroll down, you can see she's the host of 9/11 is Gay, and she loves Juicy Couture, as we now know.
Yo, this song's fire.
Yeah, but it's going to get pretty problematic pretty soon. So the thing is, we wanted to look
I was
like...
just listening to that soundtrack on the way here.
Well, I was trying to listen and enjoy myself as well, like you're trying to do. But once I saw your Twitter page here, I wasn't enjoying myself anymore, because we're trying to look like we're in solidarity, as we are, with the BLM crew, the George Floyd crew. But Dirk, pull up her first tweet, X, whatever the fuck it is now here. So Giselle, you said you talked about this new upcoming movie, which is based on the novel called The Color Purple. And you said, you posted a picture here of the trailer photo, I guess, of The Color Purple. But then you said, The Color Purple? More like The Color Black.
Ooh.
I mean, how's that going to make us look? So we're trying to look like we're in solidarity with this crew here. But, I mean, this is kind of a little off color, or on color, but...
On brand?
It's not on brand for you, which is what our hopes were. We were hoping you kind of showed a little more kindness and remorse for the colored community here. But this was only one example of many. I thought this was maybe a one-off joke that you made, which would be fine. But as I kept scrolling through your Twitter here, your X page, there was another tweet that kind of troubled me.
Oh my God.
Scroll up. Giselle said she finally saw the new Barbie and Ken movie. Is Black Ken's name Kenya?
Kanye.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, like, is this necessary? Or like,
2 views.
I mean, luckily not many folks saw it, but I don't know. I mean, what were you like why? Because he's black, he's from Kenya or something?
Isn't that what you said about Henry?
Henry Kissinger?
Yeah.
He's Andorra.
Well, Henry Kissinger, the winner of our showcase, was don't throw Henry under the bus with your taboo tweets here. Let's pull up Giselle's next tweet here. It didn't stop here. I thought, like, okay, she was having a rough morning, but then there's that famous band from the 70s, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then Giselle here said their name left out the water element because they all can't swim.
That's pretty clever.
So is it because what, they're all black? You're saying they can't swim. I thought maybe it was a joke, but I don't know. It seems realistic and telling. And unfortunately, it didn't stop there, because personally, I love the band Earth, Wind, and Fire. But Dirk, if you would pull up her next tweet, she kind of had a field day with Earth, Wind, and Fire, which I'm sure their ancestors are used to working in the fields. Giselle here said, Earth, Wind, and Fire has a song called Let Me Talk, which we all know and love. But you followed it up with saying it should be called Let Me Talk in the Movie Theater. So what did you mean by that? I wasn't really sure.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It doesn't sound very nice.
I agree, it's not.
Yeah, but what does that mean? I didn't really get this one.
I didn't get. Yeah, can you explain this for the audience and
No.
for Tony?
No.
No.
I mean, I've heard rumors. I don't want to be racist at all. That's the last thing I am. I think colored gentlemen, colored gentlewomen have this awful derogatory stereotype of talking loud during movies in the movie theater. I mean, I've never personally heard it, but I know they have this really rotten, mean-spirited stereotype about talking in movie theaters. I think that's maybe what you meant here. This could have been the Ambien, again, speaking for you, but I think you have one more where, I mean, finally you kind of let up on like a racy type theme. And it still wasn't great, though. You said, shut up. You said, I mean, you posted this nice tweet where you said period products are in urgent need in the Gaza Strip. Things happening in the Gaza Strip where they need period products. But then you followed up with another tasteless comment, as you do, and you said, I guess the bloodshed is even worse than we thought. I mean, there's people dying, getting beheaded, and you're focusing on the Gaza region alone is bloody enough, and you're focusing on the region between the legs, I guess. What did you mean by that? I mean, see, folks could say, why are you showing this on screen? But we can make Giselle do better, learn from her mistakes by showing this on screen.
How do you know the fans like this part?
Well, last time we pulled up your Twitter X account and the fans said, wow, we really loved seeing that side of Giselle. But me and Dirk, we don't like this stuff. This is a little too tasteless for us. I mean, Dirk's an attorney. He has a professional business. We don't want to be seeing this stuff.
I mean, honestly, it's horrific the things you're saying, but I have to give you some credit. It's pretty clever. Some of it's pretty good. I mean,
you do have a point.
It's witty. It's just so tasteless and horrible.
Yeah.
I can't stand to look at it, but I have to give you some credit. I have to be fair and honest.
We want you to see your crimes. We want to hold you accountable, and then you could better yourself from this, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So let's take another quick break. And upcoming, we got our guest of the day, Bill Brennan, a retired CIA agent who has a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. So we will see you all in just a moment. Bill Brennan, CIA. Coming up next.
Yummy, 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 yummy pizza, yummy pizza. Yummy, 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 yummy. The only slice I
So we are back to the show here, and now we are joined by our special guest of the evening, Bill Brennan.
Good evening.
So Bill here, before he gets into his backstory, is he could explain further, of course, but he's ex-military, and more importantly to our audience and purpose here is he's an ex-CIA agent working for the government. So Bill, do you want to give a brief background here of kind of how you got started in the military and CIA?
Sure. Well, started out military, United States Marine Corps, enlisted, did 4 years after the tour was up. I did very well. I had a good record. I had a good GT score, which was the military IQ test that they gave. And I was actively pursued by the agency, CIA. Recruited the next year, went on board, became a junior operative, worked my way up from the trenches, 26 years.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, so you started in the military, and then you were recruited from there to be part of the CIA. Was there any reason why they targeted you, or do they target how does that work?
No, it's not specifically military, but it is a big group from where they pick their recruits from. I would say over 50% are former military. What they look for is the discipline, the government somebody who's familiar with the government program, and they like the fact that they know who they are at that point. So it makes sense. It does.
Yeah. So one of the main things we kind of wanted to get into with you as a guest, we actually found you doing an interview on, I think it was like Tim Pool's podcast, or I saw you on a few different podcasts.
Yes. Very similar to this. Similar setting.
Uh-huh.
This is nicer.
Way lower budget, so that's good to hear. So one of the things that we wanted to get into mainly here was not really just like your background and kind of that stuff. We kind of wanted to get into the nitty gritty of you as a CIA agent. Yeah. So if you want to kind of touch on some of the like covert operations and stuff like that you've been a part of. Yeah.
Like I spoke about on that previous podcast, one of the things that is very active and has been probably 50 years is the MK Ultra program that you were familiar with. We spoke about it briefly.
Yeah, so me and you spoke on the phone prior to you coming on, and I saw you on other podcasts, and some of our audience is probably somewhat familiar with the term MK Ultra, but if you would get into kind of what that is.
It's used very frequently. There's a few cases that are well known. What it is mind control. It's the government actually controlling people and society, and a lot on the individual basis and on a society basis to achieve their objective. And the government has the ability to actually control people and get them to do what they want them to do. And it is amazing. We've heard there's many cases they get them to actually kill people. Sirhan, the guy that killed.
Well, hold on. Let's slow down a second because this is getting heavy territory. So you're saying MK Ultra, which folks know is declassified CIA documents. You're saying, I mean, you were in the CIA for like what time span? 80s or what?
Right. I started 84 and I did 27 years.
Okay. So like the 80s through the 90s. Yeah. So you've actually had experience with MK Ultra or no?
Absolutely.
You have?
Yes.
So touch on kind of like what you've actually experienced with that.
Well, what they do is they recruit people who they seem to feel that would be able to be manipulated. And according to their objective and what their goal is, they'll groom this person or people to achieve the objective that they're looking for. And it's very effective. And they've done it for 50 years and they're doing it now. They're still doing it.
So the MK Ultra, because I mean, from what I've heard, MK Ultra actually has like ceased as a program, but you're saying it's still going on?
Absolutely. Still going on today, just as it was since its inception. Yes.
So it's kind of like a cover.
It is. Yeah.
So you said you got your start in the military and then you were recruited to be in the CIA. You actually, when we talked on the phone, you provided us with a photo of you in the military, and you were meeting with the CIA director George H.W. Bush.
Former
Dirk, pull that up.
CIA director.
Giselle.
That's me with my former boss. Yeah, that's George H.W. George W.'s father. He was the vice president to Ronald Reagan. Then he became the president.
So yeah, Dirk's pulling up on screen here. This is an image of you on the left when you were still in the military.
Correct.
And you were meeting with George H.W. Bush, which folks in my generation know George W. Bush as the president. George H.W. Bush, former president and also former head of the CIA, former CIA director, right?
He's absolutely was during that time right there. He was still involved with the recruitment process. And actually right around that time is when we started getting feelers from different government people, and meeting him got the ball rolling. And one thing led to another, and I joined the agency.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate to meet him. Very nice guy. Very powerful man.
So you have good things to say about.
I do. I have good things to say about him, but there's been some rumors. He's recently deceased a few years ago, but he knows where the bodies are buried. Let's just say that. And also, there's been talk that he might know who killed Kennedy, if in fact he wasn't involved himself, which is pretty harsh.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
Well, he was CIA director in the 70s?
in the 70s, yeah.
And Kennedy was killed in the 60s. Was he?
63.
He was.
Right.
You think he might be involved in that or what?
Well, he was involved with the CIA even at that time, before he was the director. World War II veteran, the last of the World War II veteran presidents. And he had enough pull to know all about it. And there's strong rumor that he was directly involved with that and other things. So you take the good with the bad. That's basically how that rolls. It's they'll kill people to reach their objective. It's what they say.
And who's
is you
they
have
that you're talking about here?
any one of these government agencies. The saying is, it's cliche almost, but they have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. This is in that case. They don't care who they exploit or kill to achieve their goal, and that's one example of it. So it's pretty heavy duty.
So your experience in the CIA, you're talking about, Lee Harvey Oswald's being a program, I don't know,
Right.
shooter, assassin.
Absolutely.
Have you had experience with this or what?
Yes. What they do is they train them with empty guns, and they call it dry runs, and until they put a live round in it, it becomes a wet operation, which means
Yeah, what's
blood. Blood is wet.
Wet means blood?
Wet means blood.
So what's that mean?
So it goes from a dry run to a wet operation. When it's a wet operation, there's death involved. Kennedy was wet. This happened before my time, early 60s, but it was a integral part of the training process. And from there, they've perfected it to the point now they probably do it on a daily basis.
So what have you seen perfectly? Program people to do things or what?
Programmed assassins. Yeah, the assassination attempt on Reagan, Hinckley, that was CIA funded.
What?
Yeah, that's Radomania. They tied
Wait,
him
what?
in. He loved Jodie Foster.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah,
You're touching on a lot of stuff right now. I feel like we need to take a step back.
right.
So you're saying, all right, you've heard in the past things that have worked with the CIA where you guys been doing MK Ultra,
Right.
mind control to
I
program someone to do
I
something.
was a junior operative at that time. I was on board.
When? Like what?
81.
Huh.
And what happened was they tied in Hinckley with Jodie Foster, who he was infatuated with. And they used sexual
So for
manipulation.
our audience, hold on a second. I don't want to cut you
Right.
off again, but you're saying John Hinckley, the guy who was charged with attempting to assassinate Reagan,
Reagan. Yeah.
he was what?
He was controlled by the CIA.
Are
He
you
was
kidding me?
No, absolutely not. He definitely was. and
How? Like what? How? What?
he was manipulated sexually, and he was promised certain things that if he achieved that goal, he would be together forever with Jodie Foster. In his mind, if he pulled that trigger, his fantasy was going to come true. That's the control that they have. And if you notice now, he's free today. You would think somebody that shot the president would spend their life in prison. He was offered a deal. He's a free man today.
All right, wait. So you're saying Hinckley, the guy who attempted to shoot Reagan in the 80s,
Absolutely.
can you like get into the nitty gritty of what this?
Well, what it means is it's
Wait, you said he was controlled sexually. Like, what does that mean? He was like raped or something?
I'd shoot Reagan for Jodie Foster. Hell yeah.
right.
Was she that
She's
hot?
she's a fox, man.
Is she?
Well,
Giselle?
at that
Was
time,
Jodie Foster that good?
she was
Yeah,
hot
she was. Well, she was
at the time.
Yeah.
What was she in?
Taxi Driver
Yep.
was the big one. She played
Was that with De Niro?
De Niro. She played a young prostitute, and she fed into his
Yeah,
fantasy.
Dirk, pull up Jodie Foster. Let's see if she's actually worth shooting Reagan for.
Hold on, 80s.
Look
Oh,
at her.
Silence
Oh,
of the
80s.
Lambs.
she was in Silence of the
when
Lambs. too.
she's younger.
Actually, wait a minute. How old was she
Right
here?
there.
Hold on, before
Right
we
there. That's her.
Fourth
before
one.
before we go any further, hold on. I'm gonna check her age.
She's about my age.
How old are you?
62.
Wait, so was she?
Oh, there we go. 61. All
All right,
right.
well, don't give her the lesbian haircut. Show her.
No, I'm
Okay.
checking the age. Just hold on. There's a
She's a
method.
lesbian.
Is she really?
She might be Lebanese. I'm not sure.
It's one of
there
the
you
two.
go.
It's a fine line. Yeah.
Go to the fourth one in the pink.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that's
like,
it.
you like Giselle?
That's-
You like
Click
this
it.
one?
No.
You like this one?
That's her in Taxi
Is Giselle
Driver.
a CIA?
That movie was
Robert.
played to Hinckley, and that image is what
I mean, I don't want to make a
Hank-
joke of this,
Wow.
that image right there is what turned Hinckley into a killer.
I mean,
but
That's it. No, in all seriousness.
yeah, I mean, I'm not
That-
trying to mock anything that's happening, but
Now I'm sure today's Jodie Foster wouldn't do the trick.
Sure.
But that Jodie
Dirk,
Foster
expand that. Let's.
did the trick. I mean, she's hot.
no, she's beautiful.
Okay, I
beautiful
can
woman,
see
man.
her as a.
Right.
She's worth killing for.
So
I mean, Reagan. Come on, give her the. Like,
there's a little thing called autoerotic mania or erotic mania,
What's that?
which plays into the innate sexual drive of man. It's the most basic and primal of our beings because we need
Sexual
to reproduce.
drive?
Sexual drive. When you manipulate,
I do have that. That's for sure.
Right, I hope so.
Right, guys?
I'm,
Yeah, okay.
I'm happy for you, and I'm glad you do. But you're not manipulated with it because that drive is what is manipulated by these scientists. They do it with drugs, they do it with hypnosis, and they do it by promising them things. In this case, Madonna's not the one.
No one's killing for Madonna nowadays.
that's very true.
In this case, they promised that image of her, and they probably put up a fake Jodie Foster to communicate with him. So in his mind, they go to great lengths. So that was all planned.
Was it sort of like a Clockwork Orange situation where you strap him in the chair and like the eyes, you open up the
there's
eyes?
some of that.
right?
There is some of
And,
that,
and
but
you just keep playing images over and over.
what it is repetition.
Right.
It's repetition, but
Yeah.
you don't specifically have to tie somebody down to do this.
Okay.
You can do it through different signals,
More subtle.
lights,
More
more
subtle.
subtle.
Yeah, wow.
Hypnosis. When you're under hypnosis, it's the power of suggestion. And then when that happens, and you have to understand, the people they recruit, they're not all there to begin with. So they make the recruits, they find the recruits who are vulnerable, somebody who's already weak, and they exploit that weakness, and then they go in. Then they go in. So he was chosen way before he was manipulated. And during his manipulation, he was promised one thing. He fell in love with her, and he was infatuated with her.
Dirk, pull up John Hinckley's Wikipedia. Yeah, first pull up John Hinckley's wiki page because I think it.
Junior?
Yeah, he actually is junior. Yeah, but pull up his
That's
wiki
it.
page.
That's him. He's free. That's him right there.
Yeah, playing guitar.
Playing guitar. That's
Oh,
him.
okay, here we go.
So wait, just zoom in on him with Jodie Foster.
That's him.
Whoa, look at this.
Session with Jodie Foster.
Oh, yeah.
Zoom in on that, and then you can get Bill some
Right. See that gun?
beverage here.
Where is it?
Down.
Oh, yeah.
That would be empty. He went through several dry runs. He was killed. He was shot in D.C. at the hotel. He didn't know if the weapon he was going to use had live rounds or not. It was irrelevant at the point. That was the point between dry and what I spoke about before, wet.
Wet means there's a
wet.
bullet in the cartridge.
Wet means bullet in, death, blood. Blood represents wet.
So Alec Baldwin was wet on the set of.
He
wet.
didn't know it was wet.
Well, that's what he says.
Well, yeah, we don't actually know.
That could be too. That's a whole nother story, but I wouldn't put it past Hollywood to be involved in something like that.
You never actually heard anything. With
No,
Baldwin.
Hollywood is deeply involved with the government.
Well,
If you look at
Bill, I want to stop you a second because we did pull up on screen. I want Dirk to specifically pull up here Hinckley's, because this kind of coincides with what you were saying with this.
Right.
What'd you call it? Erotomania?
erotomania.
Where he was obsessed sexually with a celebrity who probably has no idea who he is. So Dirk, zoom in on.
He was obsessed to a certain level, and through their manipulation, he made him extremely obsessed, like it was the only reason for him to live. So
Whoa.
that's the difference.
So you had that power?
That's the weakness that
That's
they
crazy.
exploit. They exploit that weakness. Exactly.
Dirk, zoom in on, if you scroll down a bit, there was a section on his wiki page here, Obsession with Jodie Foster. Zoom in a bit.
Right.
Hinckley became obsessed with 1976 film Taxi Driver, you mentioned that,
Right.
in which disturbed protagonist Robert De Niro tried to assassinate a presidential candidate.
Exactly.
Whoa.
That movie was a dry run for the actual event.
Oh shit,
What?
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wait, is this by happenstance
No,
or what?
there's no coincidence.
It's the tie-in between Hollywood and the government and reality. But if you sit down and think about this actually is true, that they can manipulate this poor loser, I'm sorry to say.
Who, Hinckley?
Yeah, he's just a poor, pathetic loser of a guy who has no purpose in life, and he's promised Jodie Foster. He believes it, and he's willing to kill a president. But at that point in his mind, he's not killing a president. He's doing what he has to do to get with his girl. You know, so
Right. I mean, that's interesting.
however bad it is, it's not bad in his mind. He doesn't think that far. He's thinking of his objective.
But you, as a CIA, are using this controlling technique of a man's sex drive. to
And there's
make him
people
do things?
actively looking for susceptible people right now.
This is crazy.
What did it say?
This is exactly what Bill was saying.
Hinckley developed an infatuation with Jodie Foster, who played Iris Steensma, a sexually trafficked
12 years old. 12 years old.
12-year-old child.
So before the CIA got involved, the guy was already a pedophile.
Pedophile. Complete.
What?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what you're saying. How the guy was already like weak-minded and disturbed to
Exactly.
begin with, so they took advantage of him.
Well, that's exactly right.
yeah.
That's exactly right. They wouldn't get somebody who is stable, has a career in mind, most likely religious and is God-fearing, let's say, for example. No, they wouldn't go for somebody like that. They'd go for somebody who's much weaker than that.
Compromised, I guess.
Compromised is a very good word.
Yeah.
And here's, just like I said, this is just one example. It's endless.
Sure.
Robert Kennedy, who was killed in Los Angeles,
Sorry,
1968. That was MK Ultra, one of the earlier ones. That he did dry runs with his pistol for 2 years before he actually pulled the trigger on Robert Kennedy.
So what do you mean by a dry run?
Dry versus wet.
Well, he's
All right, wet means an actual
Wet.
bullet.
Wet means bullet.
Blood.
He,
Thank you,
Blood.
Giselle.
Wet.
She's following along
Wet.
better than I am.
wet means wet.
I'm trying to make sure our audience is aware of what's going on.
no.
This
The
is-
audience gets it.
All
He
right.
killed him in the
All right,
kitchen.
all right,
He killed
all
him
right.
in the kitchen. He was running for president in '68, and he didn't know if the weapon had rounds in it or not.
Wow.
Irrelevant, because he doesn't know dry or wet.
How do we know he didn't know?
Well, he didn't know what he did for
part of the
3
programming.
months. He woke up in his jail cell out of his mental funk, and he didn't know where he was or what he did.
Who's
To
that?
this day, he doesn't remember
Like,
it. And
Sirhan?
Sirhan.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't know what he did.
What?
No,
I never heard that.
Nah, he was completely hypnotized.
Well, I want to stop you there because we do have another ad read. Everything we're talking about is MK Ultra right now.
Right.
And our next sponsor of the day is MK Ultra.
Very nice.
So, have you ever wanted to achieve a higher level of mental and physical fitness? Do you constantly feel overwhelmed, stressed, and wish there was a way to enhance your brain power? Look no further, because MK Ultra Mind Enhancement is the way and answer to all of your desires. MK Ultra, also known as the CIA's mind control program, has been making waves in the wellness industry for its extraordinary benefits on the human mind and body. Developed in the 1950s, MK Ultra was initially intended to be used for interrogation and military purposes. However, it was expanded to various other fields, including health and fitness. Through a series of intense psychological techniques, MK Ultra aims to break down old belief systems and replace them with new, healthier ones. By controlling your thoughts and behaviors, it is possible to transform negative patterns and boost overall wellness. Once we control your mind, you can easily combat cravings and stick to a healthy habit. This can be especially helpful for those trying to lose weight or quit unhealthy habits like smoking. When you meet with one of our MK Ultra representatives, all you have to do is tell us what you want to do, and we'll take over your brain's decision-making process and force your brain to stick to that routine. Our program has been carefully designed and tested to provide you with the best brainwashing and mind control techniques. Our team of experts assures you complete confidentiality and a safe, judgment-free space to achieve your wellness goals. So why wait? Join the MK Ultra community today and become the ultra version of yourself.
Right.
I didn't want to disrespect anything that you said.
No.
We probably should have read that before you came on. Before
that's fine.
Came that kind of serious.
Like I said, those are only some of the ones that just come to mind because they've been in the news. They make movies about it and things like that. Thousands upon thousands of cases. And that's on individual people. They also do it on a societal basis, which is a whole different subject. They take down nations.
All right, well, let's take a step back again.
Right.
So you're saying...
Just to give you an idea of the reach.
Yeah, no,
This is
I mean,
what I'm trying
everything you're saying is cool, but, well, not cool.
It's
kind of crazy, but...
It's kind of cool because behind it all is a bigger objective for a greater good.
Yeah, I just want to make sure our audience
That's the
is
idea.
following, because I already saw you on like Tim Pool and other podcasts. So I wanted to make sure we're not like
Right.
talking too high level here. So as we know, I mean, Wikipedia and declassified Freedom of Information Act documents talk about. We're aware that the CIA is meant to mostly function abroad in different countries. So, like,
Yes.
what things have you done in other countries that you are able to talk about?
Well, one during my time wasn't in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. It was in the 90s. We overthrew the Somali government all because of a piece of real estate that we wanted. It was the airport and the port, which is on the Persian Gulf, sticks out right at the time of the Gulf War for oil strategic positioning. That was the goal.
Somalia?
And it cost millions of lives. So, millions of lives. This is what I'm saying. I might blow your mind, but one person or a million people, doesn't matter. It's the objective that they go after. One person was Hinckley. A million people are a million Somalis that they starved out. And they blamed it on warlords there who we funded so they could have plausible deniability to say that they were the bad guys. Which, how is a group of bad guys on a Toyota pickup truck going to starve out a nation is beyond me. It can't happen. We did it
Yeah.
because we wanted the airport and the port for the ships to take the oil from the Persian Gulf. George H.W. Bush. That's exactly.
Well, all
We
right.
go from
that
one
sounds
individual
right,
to a million people.
You're opening a real...
It's a Pandora's box that people, the thing is, this is all public. enough time has passed that I can say these things. But there was a time when I couldn't, and if I was active duty, I could not. But I'm not, and I'm allowed to say it because this is all because of the Freedom of Information Act, which is enacted, and it's all public record anyway. People know this stuff, but no one talks about it. But they have to have a scapegoat, so they blame it on they call them warlords. A couple of skinny guys with machine guns on the back of a Toyota.
So one of the all right, yeah. So you kind of said a lot there, a lot to unpack.
I heard you guys talking before the Juicy Couture.
Yeah.
It struck a nerve because I know about that. That's not just a brand name that somebody came up with. That's part of the ruse to sexualize youth, slowly but surely.
Well, I was going to ask.
That's a clothing line that was invented and put out by the government.
What do you mean?
Absolutely.
Well, because I was going to ask you.
Yeah, similar to Victoria's Secret, it sounds like.
Right.
The screen said do this.
Juicy Couture? Do you think an
so-
11-year-old girl would have Juicy on her rear end?
Let's pause for a second.
In
yeah.
1955?
No chance.
Under Dwight Eisenhower?
No chance.
Okay? That's our parents, where they came from, right? So look at what they've had to endure, the changes. Whereas the young kids now, it's accepted. The first thing they go to the store and they find Juicy Couture and they shake their tushy at 11 years old, right? They're on TikTok doing all kinds of
TikTok.
nasty shit. And let me tell you, TikTok in China is wholesome. They do basket weaving, they do flower arranging.
Is it?
They do musical
That's a
instruments,
thing?
violin making, violin playing.
TikTok here.
TikTok here, they're twerking, which also was invented in Somalia, by the way.
Wait, so there's a different TikTok for China and the
Absolutely.
United States? You
Absolutely.
knew that too,
Hold on.
Giselle?
Well, I know how
more-
everything is filtered.
I will
Really?
say
I
this.
didn't
Tell me, more interesting, he said twerking was invented in Somalia.
I will,
Well,
yes. Let me just touch on
excuse
this.
me, I
This
mean-
is a good one. Because when we invaded Somalia and took over the country,
Who?
United States.
Okay.
CIA.
Yeah, Operation Restore Hope. We starved them out and then came in as the good guys to feed them, which was totally fake.
Problem, reaction, solution.
Exactly. The women of Africa, as we know, black girls have the big posterior. They found,
Absolutely.
black girls have the big butt.
True.
It's nice. I mean, I'm not
Posterior,
saying
yeah,
in a bad
no,
way.
I agree.
It's just that the way their anatomy is. So
It's,
they found a way.
It's a
They
reality, I
studied
guess.
it and exploited the black women to move the big butt in a way that'll get people aroused. And they came up with, they used to call working it. And that turned into twerking it. And now we have twerking.
slang.
It started in Somalia, 1991, by exploiting African girls and women to degrade the society. And now it's been introduced here. And these young girls, as young as 11, with the Juicy Couture pants, are twerking their rear ends.
It's unbelievable.
Totally inserted, invented, thought of, planned out, and placed
Yeah.
in society.
All right.
Not
Well,
by
look at
chance.
this.
Not by chance. Another example of how crazy this shit is, man. It's crazy.
It is. Look, Operation Restore
All right, Dirk's
Hope.
pulling up.
Somalia.
Operation
the camera
Restore
died.
Hope. That's
All
it.
right, so Operation.
I was on the ground.
Dirk's pulling
that
up-
that picture of me and George Bush
Uh-huh.
was in Mogadishu. Operation
Wait,
Restore.
where's Mogadishu?
Right there.
I'm stupid with geography. This is where's Mogadishu?
Yeah, this guy thinks Portugal's in South America.
Yeah, I'm really retarded. I'm sorry.
It's the capital of Somalia.
Mogadishu's the capital of
Right
Somalia.
there. Right there.
Okay.
Mogadishu.
You have to dumb this down for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
anyway-
everyone, the audience gets it, we get it.
But what I'm saying is, just one example of what they did. Not
here it
only they weren't happy just to starve out a nation, they found a way to sexualize the people and then bring it here.
Yeah, it's right
And-
here.
And twerking was invented because of that. Twerking,
All right.
of all things.
That's
twerking.
crazy.
It's
Can we please-
crazy shit. I'm telling you, it happened. It really happened.
All right. Can we step back a second? Because I'm like laughing and I want to make a joke of any of this real
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
So wait, you're saying Somalia, which is in Africa, right?
it's in Africa.
All right.
It's
So
on
I
the
got
Persian Gulf.
I got that much right. You're saying the CIA overthrew Somalia?
The CIA overthrew, starved out the
For
people.
what mean? Like what? How
No,
did
they created, okay, I'll do a recap what he
right,
said.
please,
They
thank you,
created a
Dirk.
false
Translate.
famine.
Exactly.
It's a manufactured artificial famine.
Right.
Pretended that, oh, these warlords are the problem that's doing this,
Right,
the
right.
local
right,
warlords.
so-
You're creating a problem, and then you're saying, oh, we're the heroes, look at these bad guys.
Exactly.
But you're misdirecting who the quote-unquote bad guys actually are.
not only they weren't happy with that, they found a way to sexualize the women along the way and invented twerking.
That was
which,
yeah.
yeah, and it's worse than that. There's way more. But when you break down the moral structure of a society and sexualize the children and break down the family, which is what's happening in the United States now, you open them up to be controlled by the government. That's part of the big plan. And it's obvious because they look for ways to do it. They weren't happy enough to kill 1 million people. Let's find some more ways. Oh, so now we can sexualize these girls with what became twerking.
So,
one example.
All right,
And
but hold
they
on a
sex-
second.
They sex trafficked
just let
them
him
too.
talk.
And they sex
so interested,
trafficked
I'm
those
sorry.
girls too.
They what?
Sex trafficked.
Goodness.
Of course.
Right
Yep.
into the United States because there's a
course.
group of men that love young African women. And they're beautiful people too. They have nice teeth, they're healthy. And before they were starved to death, of course, but which is sad. But they're very good looking people. You see Somali people, they're really like strong and they just destroyed them.
Why Somalia?
That they found it there.
Ports, the airport,
Well, yeah, that's why
the
we did
seaports,
it.
the trade.
But they found one feature of the African women with they have a big rear end. I mean, they're different than European women. They have a big, and they looked for a way to sexualize that, and it became twerking because it started out as working it.
Like the more mass in the ass,
We were
the
there.
more control. The more
Exactly.
mass in the ass, the more control potential.
That's right. That's one example, and they used it as this is what you got to start doing when you come to the United States. When we traffic you, you're gonna have to work it, twerk it. So they twerk it to get to become sexualized. It like AIDS. AIDS was introduced. AIDS was dropped in just like COVID. Richard Simmons, who was the gay spokesman, was put in as a fitness guru to make the gay community more physically attractive to further spread AIDS. Now that's crazy. That's true. Do you think Richard Simmons would become famous on his own? That guy
No
was,
chance.
was a fat slob. He was like
True.
a mama's boy. Also
Really?
weak and easily manipulated.
While growing up, Simmons had asthma.
Dirk
he was
Paul
obese.
Richardson.
When
Isn't he missing
he was a
right
teenager.
now?
Look at
Nobody
this.
know where
He
is.
weighed 268 pounds.
There you go.
Look at him now. He's not over $120 here.
He's
What?
so that guy is
I didn't
a
know
government plant. He's in a dress.
that. Whoa.
Or this guy.
Yeah, the degradation of society, of culture. There you
Yeah,
go.
now
He used to be
doesn't it-
fat?
Doesn't it?
That's
tie
what it
in-
says here.
Listen to the playbook.
Uh-huh.
Somebody who was a loser, right?
He's a loser.
A loser, which, for lack of a better word, I don't.
Was a
want-
loser, still is.
Listen, I don't want to put anyone down and call him a loser. I'm just saying it for definition.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to say I'm better than him or he's better
Right.
than
It's just
him.
part of like the targeting program.
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
the targeting program. You think they'd pick Arnold Schwarzenegger for that role?
No chance.
Okay, there's my point. That's my point. They picked this guy. They skinnied him down with drugs.
Pretended that it was natural and from
Right.
hard work. Yeah.
The gay community latched onto him, and they became attracted to each other, and they became more sexually active, which spread AIDS.
So
Crazy train, right? That's
It's
true
nuts.
too. It's nuts, but this is what I'm trying to get out. These are some of the big ones that I was involved with.
so
All right.
Are
this
you-
was,
And nobody knows where he is now.
Is that
Well, it
true?
comes up-
He
yeah,
did a
comes up-
disappearing act.
Yeah,
He did
he
a
comes
thing.
up
What?
on pop culture like, where is Richard Simmons?
What?
And is
Well,
he dead?
you know why, right? Because he lived out his usefulness.
Yep.
so now what? Is he like
Well, now he's probably back to where
They're
whoever
waiting-
he was when he was 268
right.
pounds.
He's no longer useful. He's probably on some farm somewhere waiting to die. They'll probably maybe keep him alive, maybe kill him if they were. But they had no reason to kill him. They'll keep him alive.
so
Let's
what's
say
the
that.
AIDS playbook? What was happening
Same
back
as COVID. Yeah, Big Pharma was in bed with the government. When you control Big Pharma, which is a multi-trillion-dollar, trillion with a T, Big Pharma, you control the pharmacy industry. You can control a disease and introduce it and manipulate society. So, who was the scapegoat again? The gays. They could have put it anywhere.
Oh, they
put-
tried bringing it back with monkeypox too.
Yeah.
Well, what you were saying with AIDS that I saw on the Tim Pool podcast was you had a theory. I think you were saying that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you were saying that CIA kind of created AIDS in a way.
Well, they did.
And you were, well, you were saying you had a secondary theory beyond just like political measures, but you were saying,
How somebody used it.
yeah.
What-
So you were saying, hold on, I have it in my notes here.
Right, I know. I remember it.
You said, quote, Walter Mather,
Walter Mather.
the chief medical,
he was gay.
yeah, the
He
chief
was
medical,
closeted gay,
uh-huh.
and he used it to. He was scorned by his lover, and he took that as the erotomania. There it is again, manipulated to the point of he's going to kill his gay lover, and he's going to kill all of them just like him, the gay community. That's why they went after it. If you notice Ted Bundy, all his victims look like his mother. It's very similar. They're familiar, and they use that as he has such hatred for that scorned lover, that gay lover who took him out of the closet, ruined his life, the whole thing. He's going to kill them all, and that's how he did it. That's
Right.
a theory. It's theory,
You have a theory that this,
but everybody knows it's true. It's a theory, but everybody knows it's true. Everybody's out on the inside.
okay.
Of course it is.
So this chief medical, what was he? A chief medical?
He was a liaison, a medical liaison.
Because the CIA, you said, infiltrates like big pharma and Hollywood and political sphere.
Right, and he's also another scapegoat because we know his name. We're talking about him.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's
yeah.
the guy to alleviate the pressure of
Nothing proven, but
real-
you're
right.
you're saying back in like the 60s, 70s when it was taboo to come out about one's sexuality,
plausible deniability.
but
There it is
that
again.
but you would say that would make a good person to control because
Absolutely.
he was a closeted homosexual and
That's
that was
exactly
taboo
right.
to come out at the time, so he was
right.
so like ashamed. I'm going based
That's
off
like
what you said on the
that's
other
like Hoover.
That's exactly right.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah.
He was a cross-dresser. He wore women's clothes. He had
Yeah,
a
They
husband.
use it as scapegoat to control.
He had a
them.
husband.
And the former FBI director,
He
J.
had a
Edgar
husband.
Hoover, right?
He was married to a man.
What?
Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover was a cross-dresser. He was the female in the couple, and the other guy was the man.
What?
That was his life, was to get dirt on people.
Yeah,
Because if he
yeah.
didn't, he would be outed as a cross-dresser, which was taboo. Now
of
it would be
course.
celebrated.
Yeah, now you get a
right.
promotion.
You see what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? The
Yeah.
breakdown of society. Now it's accepted.
cyclical nature. Yeah.
You see how it was so bad then, but now they want to hire a cross-dresser.
Right.
So, just for public relations.
Mm.
So,
Now they're going to blackmail the cross-dresser as being straight.
exactly.
As being straight. Oh, you're straight. We're going to tell everybody you're straight. You better do what we
Well,
say.
they already
You
did.
never dressed in women's clothing.
They already,
I
they
swear
did
I
that
did.
with.
The only thing I want to circle back to, though, is you said you and the CIA guys would overthrow countries through political means or
Sure. Easily.
sexual means.
Absolutely.
Me and Giselle were arguing earlier. I don't know if you heard in the green room, but I would argue that Juicy Couture would over-sexualize kids and diminish a culture in that way. Is that legitimate or what?
That's completely legitimate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Giselle. That's complete. But
Well,
it's not.
but so these tracksuits exist that it's for children.
I-
That's where I'm lost.
Yeah,
So
they're-
you're saying no, but he's saying that.
Well,
I'm
putting-
saying that it's a small part of a big picture. That's one example of thousands. We could sit here and list thousands of Juicy Coutures, man.
Right.
Look,
Balenciaga.
You look over to the beach these days. 11-year-old girls are wearing string bikinis. 100 years ago they wore nightgowns. You see the difference? See how
And it's planned.
it's all planned? It's
See?
all planned because
Giselle,
now
sorry.
it's.
I'm not arguing
That's my point.
of children,
sure.
little girls being over sexualized.
You're not in
I'm
favor
you
of that.
know that that's true.
Giselle's not in
I'm
favor of that anymore.
I'm challenging that. I don't know that specific brand comes out with it on the ass part.
It's a
I
pretty
thought it
bold
was only
move.
for the adults, right?
No, it's for the kids too. There's
I-
kids size. Or you're saying we should check if there's children's sizes.
Yeah, I want you to check your accuracy.
You
That's
know.
why I was saying bring it up.
All right. Well, that's a woman.
She's a teen.
Well, maybe, but pull up.
They have them for young.
Giselle, what are the sizes? Because I know men's
Children
waist.
are like
What?
0 to size. A girl is like a size 14 to 16 kids.
They won't advertise young. They won't put an 11-year-old girl on this website. They won't do it because it's too obvious. They want the kids to go after it because they want younger kids to like that and say they want to push the envelope.
So all kids want to grow up.
Yes, they want to look like that.
Okay, I mean,
it's
I think
probably-
I'm understanding the point a
Look at
little
that.
bit better.
Okay.
He's clarifying for you.
You don't.
So you needed
haven't-
a
I've seen
former
11
military expert
Yeah.
to
Look
at this.
understand.
Look at
finite.
this. Extra small, all sold out.
Whoa.
All right, now you just sound like a perv.
Huh? Look at this.
Right.
Look at this.
But that's an adult size,
Yeah,
No,
but that's
extra small.
It's very provocative.
right?
It's very provocative.
There's
But
kids
and
wearing
what
it.
my point with Tony was that it's still hot. People, it's not
It
as
is.
if people are, like he was saying, being your own person, have your own point of view.
Right.
We're living in a society where people don't have their own point
Right,
of view.
that's
and
what
that
I'm
shit
saying.
works. It's
And
working.
The
and people are
manipulation,
still
what I
buying
was
it.
trying to warn the young people like you, not you, for example, but I'm saying.
I'm very young.
I know that, and it's good to stay young. But what I'm saying is, don't be manipulated because of things like that.
But there are kids, my niece, I know, and children of the like,
Well-
underage, that are wearing Juicy on their ass. One thing I also see you talk about on a recent podcast was it's kind of dated at this point, but I know when we were kids, Elian Gonzalez
Oh yeah,
was a
Well,
big thing in
I
the
wasn't-
news.
I wasn't a kid. I knew all about that.
Well, yeah, you were already firmly in the CIA at that point.
They were.
So
They killed his family, sunk the boat.
I
Used him
mean,
for political.
you got to give us a little more detail than that,
Well,
because for
it
us,
was- it was-
Elian Gonzalez is.
Okay, Elian Gonzalez was
sure.
a kid.
Go ahead.
Was a kid on his way on a float to come to the United States. Became a political and media spectacle. Planned. They sunk the boat on purpose. Took the kid off. Then sunk the boat. Killed the whole family. Used the kid as a media circus between. It was another diversion tactic to get their minds off something else. But like I said, right out of the playbook, it doesn't matter who you kill or who you sacrifice or who the pawn is. They ruined that kid's life.
Well, I'm on his wiki right now, and it looks like this might be a sort of subtle admission right here
Oh, really?
with the reference to the wet and dry
Mm.
policy.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking
So
about
that might be
earlier.
a subtle thing that they
That
put in
is.
to say, "Oh, we're a part of this."
Absolutely is. That's
Yeah.
that's terminology only used by one group.
Right. So they put it like inconspicuously in a,
Oh, yeah,
in
no.
a Wikipedia article.
Or somebody was writing it from the agency who slipped. You know,
Mm,
he
that might be a
just
slip.
it was like a Freudian slip. This is
might
the
be a
only
slip.
language he knows. You know,
Mm.
it could be that, or it could be a signal.
Wow.
It could be a signal.
So Elian was the child used as a.
Young boy, like 6 years old.
So you were using him in the CIA
Yeah,
as
he
a
was-
what?
as a pawn
For what? Like a what
For-
reason?
for political leverage and a media spectacle, as a diversion and a distraction from another issue that they didn't want anybody sniffing around in. That's exactly what it was.
Because
Like when you take with a little kid and you're like, oh, look over here.
Look over
like,
here.
yeah, this is what's, and then this is all
Remember?
exciting.
You notice how the root
But there's
the,
something else going
the
on in the
theme
side.
here is the playbook. We keep coming back to the playbook. That's playbook, textbook playbook. No pun intended. Textbook playbook. But it's textbook playbook. It's right out of it. Diversion, distraction.
So the reason you came on today, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into why you're going on interviews on podcasts.
Well, yeah, I do. I have a message.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people think that we're a bad country and we do some crazy stuff. I was going to say, am I allowed to curse?
You could
Crazy
curse
shit. We do. But we're a good country. Ultimately, a lot of the stuff that is done, although bad, it's the objective is for a greater good, which is good, even though you're doing bad stuff for a better outcome. That's part of the playbook also. And we are inherently good people. We help everybody in the world. We fund everybody. We cure everybody. We give help and aid all over the world. We're good people. We sacrifice a lot for other people to live. So I would say although there's some crazy shit that we do and have done that I shouldn't be proud of, ultimately I'm proud because I know that we are good and we're serving a greater good. That's my message.
So you're not necessarily coming out to like take this off your chest.
I'm not really apologizing
Yeah.
because I know that some things have to be done to achieve the objective. So yeah, they kill 1 million people, but they're saving 10 million.
Well,
It's a CIA way.
Yeah.
I think it's a very brave
Thank you.
way. And one of the things you didn't really touch on was Barry Seal and kind of like
Oh,
this.
shit.
I know it's a whole another rabbit hole. We can maybe get into that later, but
He was owned by the CIA.
Right.
For
Very
drugs he delivered to Noriega.
Barry Seal was a pilot
Pilot
who was
for the
smuggling
CIA.
drugs for
Started
the
with
CIA.
marijuana.
And who was the Mexican cartel guy?
Pablo Escobar.
Escobar, the big guy. Yeah.
He's one guy, but there was hundreds of Pablo Escobars.
Yeah. So Dirk's
Hundreds.
pulling up Barry Seal here. He was a pilot for the
Yeah.
United States, but
I met him.
you met him?
Yeah, I
Really?
knew him. I knew him.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
He got killed in the street.
Well, the interesting thing, the one thing I want to bring up quick, I know we're coming up to the bottom of the hour here to wrap up. Barry Seal, who we have up on screen, was a pilot who was smuggling drugs for
Absolutely.
Pablo Escobar and in turn the CIA. You tell us, Bill, if that's
Ab-
correct or
There we
not.
go, Pablo Escobar.
Absolutely, they were both working for the
Smiling in
federal
his
government.
mugshot.
The only reason he's dead is because he lives out his usefulness, just like Richard Simmons. Except
True.
they killed him. Richard's fermenting somewhere. I don't know, but this guy, yeah, he was in business.
But the interesting thing was, I don't know if you're familiar, Bill, with Gary Webb, the journalist who was writing books about CIA drug smuggling.
Yes,
And he
I
committed,
heard.
the official story is he committed suicide
No,
with 2 gunshots to his head.
yeah, right. Two,
I
Two.
believe, I believe
Two.
it.
Two
Okay.
gunshots to the head.
like Jeffrey Epstein. Right?
Right. It's
Makes
akin
sense.
to that.
No, it didn't
But this guy, Gary Webb, was a famous journalist, was writing books exposing CIA drug smuggling with Barry
until
Seal.
they didn't want him to write anymore.
Yeah.
The usefulness.
But the official story was he committed suicide,
Right, okay.
2 gunshots to the head.
Right.
It sounds crazy that he shot himself twice in his own head,
It
but
does.
if
It
we
does.
if we could get serious for a second, personally, I don't think it's that crazy because I went through a tough time in high school. I was adopted, as our listeners know, and my parents are actually Asian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was raised by Asian family, and in high school, one of my GPA was always anticipated to be straight A's, as you know, but I actually got a B+ in one of my classes, and needless to say, my parents love them as they are, but they were raised in Japan. A B+ wasn't good enough for them. And they were really upset with me. We got into a huge fight that night, and I wanted to kill myself that night when I got a B+ on my GPA that night. My report card came in, and I knew my dad would have none of that. So he had a gun in the house. He was an avid hunter. He would hunt like duck and stuff. My uncle owned a Thai restaurant. So my dad had a gun in the house, and I actually tried, it sounds crazy, I tried shooting myself that night. And it actually took like 3 shots. I still wasn't dead. And up to the 5th shot, I actually took 4 shots, but the 5th shot, I finally said, you know what, I don't want to kill myself. And so I know firsthand, 2 gunshots to the head, it could take way more than that. And so with Gary Webb as this whistleblower journalist, it's not, that's normal for it to take 2 gunshots. That's not crazy at all, because to me it took 4 gunshots, and I finally learned my lesson. So Gary dying after 2 gunshots to the head, that's completely normal. And I just want to let all of our listeners know there's nothing suspicious going on. That's totally normal. It took me 4 shots until I said, you know what, this isn't for me. Suicide's not the answer. It's not the answer for anybody. We don't want anyone to commit suicide. It's a very serious topic. And I just want to say that I want to thank Bill for coming on, telling his story, talking
you,
about
Bill.
the CIA.
Thank you.
I just want to say the CIA is doing the right thing. And we just want to thank him for his service. Everybody, thank Bill for his service.
Appreciate it.
Thank all of the CIA agents around for their service. And we'll all see you next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks a lot.
The only slice I truly like costs more.